guys, I swear, I am not here to stir anything up. I'd like to think we know each other better than that, meaning better than to think that I'm here for mischievous, is that the word? Is it mischievous? Mischievous purposes? Well, anyway, here comes some mischievy or whatever. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is an especially mischievous episode of Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Yesterday marked the first day in pads at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, and squeezing the session in between the raindrops, the Steelers were able to pull that off. And yet again, even though Russell Wilson returned, I shouldn't say returned, he joined the fold in full participation for the first time, mostly full participation. Justin Fields was still taking his first team snaps. Justin Fields was still making things happen with those first team snaps. Justin Fields continued to play mistake-free football. Obligatory, gigantic Eiffel Tower-sized parentheses coming up. It's the beginning of camp. We haven't even gotten to preseason. I'm not making more of it than what it is. If you take more from it than what I'm saying, that's on you, not on me. All right? End giant Eiffel Tower-sized parentheses. To date, to this prenatal stage of the 2024 NFL season, Fields very clearly has done what's been asked of him and maybe beyond. It's possible that Fields has seized these extra snaps that he's gotten with Wilson having the calf issue, but it's also possible that without all the flair and the running to the fans or running to the cameras that Wilson's been doing, Fields, who has been signing autographs and talking to reporters himself, has gone about his business in a little bit of a more lower key way, but not when he's on the field. Not when he's on the field. When you see him out there, when you see him take snaps, and I'm not sharing with you anything that anybody in Chicago didn't already know, he can be electrifying. And what I like about what he's done so far is that he seems to have found a way to be his best self while not necessarily pushing those boundaries that got him into trouble so often with the Bears. His arm has looked strong. It's been accurate. It's come with timing, and it's come with an understanding of the routes being run. He's not putting it into the wrong place because he's misreading where his target should be. He's hit his sideline routes. He's hit his back shoulders. He's hit over the middle. He's hit deep. And my goodness, when he hits deep, the thing that really jumps out about his deep passes when they connect is that they look effortless. You know how some quarterbacks, when they have to really let it fly, they have to really, it's like looking at Wile E. Coyote pulling back one of those super huge slingshots where he's trying to kill the Roadrunner with a slingshot for some reason. With Fields, it just goes. It just goes. And yesterday represented his best day, which is what you want. First day with pads, first day of real football, first genuine chance to begin impressing the coaching staff, and Fields showed it all. And by the way, afterward, it sure sounded like he knew he showed it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun, being able to show my legs off a little bit. And, practice was definitely fun today. First day of pads, so a little bit more energy out there. Guys get hitting a little bit, but I think, me personally, I think I've been growing and getting better each and every day. And, that's just the goal.
Okay, now, again, I'm not up to no good. I'm not up to trying to create something that isn't there. The fact is, until Tomlin says, hey, this is wide open, or hey, the pole position is now shared, or whatever lingo he would choose to apply, then it's status quo. But I've got two things to say about this before we go to break. One is that Fields is giving himself at least a chance. He's forcing an early look. And if he continues to force that look and he continues to shove his way into first team reps, even if, as expected, there'll be shared first team reps, that's not nothing, okay? Two is that you are not, and I'm going to repeat this because I made this point in an episode about a month ago, and now that he's actually here and doing stuff, I'm going to bring it back, only this time with red neon letters. You are not keeping him on the sideline for 17 games when he's capable of more athletic things than anybody else you pay. You will find a way, an alternative way to deploy him. There, how did I do? Did I stir up now? Okay, good. When we come back, J1Q, mischievousness. This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar. Today's J1Q comes from Ben, who says, "Hey DK, one of the reasons I get excited about this offense," I'm laughing just because I'm looking at the punctuation here. It's like all capital letters and a zillion exclamation points. One of the reasons I get excited about this offense, I see that you're excited, Ben, is the amount of unique role players the Steelers have. How important is it that Arthur Smith recognizes and defines roles for players who have a niche skill set? For example, Darnell Washington, great blocker, also can be targeted in the red zone with a jump ball. Matt Canada failed to utilize any of these types of unique skill sets, and there's plenty of them, it seems, on this roster. You know, Ben, the first thing I think of, anytime anybody brings up Matt Canada right now, that's not the bar, okay? That's not the bar. You don't want to be better than what Canada was doing. I think we saw over the final month of the 2023 season what it looks like to be better than what Canada was doing. A lot of the credit for that goes to Mason Rudolph. A lot of the credit for that goes to others on the offense. And a lot of the credit should go to Eddie Faulkner and Mike Sullivan, who teamed up to fill in for Canada over that time and did a pretty nice job, particularly under the circumstances, being hamstrung by the Canada playbook. Next thing I think of as it relates to your question is that if I went to, let's say, for example, Calvin Austin and said, "Hey, Cal, do you see yourself as having a unique skill set that the Steelers should be taking advantage of?" I know what kind of reaction I would get from him, and it wouldn't be all that pleasant. He's a wonderful kid, don't get me wrong. It's just that he's working so hard to be the polar opposite of that. He doesn't want to be the gimmick guy. He doesn't want to be the one who, as soon as he comes onto the field and joins the huddle, everyone on the other sideline and up in the booth and everywhere else knows what's coming. He is trying hard. Doesn't mean he's going to succeed, but he's trying to make himself into a more complete, more versatile type of wide receiver. Now, that said, can you utilize his speed? Can you put him and his, how did you call it, unique skill set into unique positions on the field where, you know, he sees a whole lot of grass in front of him and seizes it? Sure. You always want to put people to where their strengths are. But compartmentalizing them like that, you threw out Washington as well. And I think that's a fair thing to do because Washington at the moment, and we've been talking about this quite a bit on the program, needs to show that he's got that athletic move right after the catch. We know he's huge. We know he can get open. We know he can catch the ball. What we don't know and what we haven't seen yet, well, here's where I should speak for myself. What I haven't seen yet from him, and that includes in this camp, is that little extra bit of fluidity combined with explosiveness. You know how officials, when they're trying to determine what's a catch and what's not, how long a receiver had possession of the football, and they'll say things like the first athletic move, like he caught the ball, then he made an athletic move. That's positioning. Well, I'm talking about the same move, only in a different context. I want to see more from Washington in this way. Now, other than those two, and I guess maybe you could throw Connor Hayward into it since he seems to have made some kind of impression on some people. I have a hard time getting a full read on that. There's some people who just glow about him, and then there's a lot of times when the offense is brought up and his name never arises. And then from there, bear in mind that with Roman Wilson having gotten hurt yesterday, and it does not look like the kind of thing that would come with a quick recovery. I'm not playing doctor here or anything, but ankles that require you to get carted off, not good, okay? You're almost certainly going to need somebody else to move into these positions, if not the long discussed and debated mythical external receiver that Omar Khan's waiting to bring in. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Steelers. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow.